Guys, the new season is upon us. The past few weeks have been filled with tons of information about Season 17, and there are so many things to cover if you haven't been keeping up. Honestly, it's too much for me to put in one video. So instead, I want to talk about the best change of Season 17. And by that I mean I couldn't make up my mind, so we're going to talk about the 3 best changes of Season 17. First up is the rank changes, and I'm starting with this one because I do have mixed feelings about it. We've been begging for meaningful rank changes for a while now, and the last time they made changes, they sounded good on paper and they were kind of working at first, but eventually it ended up making most ranked games feel identical to pubs. And since players weren't grinding ranked as much, matchmaking became absolutely terrible. So I'm very hesitant when it comes to praising changes to ranked, especially when I hear the words hidden MMR. This might be a hot take, so prepare yourself, but in a progression-based system, I think it's kind of stupid to also match players based on skill level. That might sound strange, but hear me out. Yes, the point of a ranked mode is to pit you against teams that are on your skill level, but in my opinion, in a progression-based rank system, that's the point of the ranks. This is where I agree with the idea of the new placement matches. Placement matches will give the game an idea of how skilled you are so that it can place you into a rank with players that should be on your level. This is something I think they should do, but here's my issue with the hidden MMR. If you place into a gold lobby, your goal as a player is to improve beyond the performance of the average gold player. And part of the fun is in seeing your rank increase to reflect that increase in skill level. I still vividly remember back when I was a hard stuck platinum and decided to move on. So I started grinding my aim practice and working on my decision making to win more 1v1s. And over time as I improved, I started to see the difference between myself and other platinum players, and then I was consistently able to climb in platinum lobbies and eventually reach diamond. As frustrating as the old ranked system could be, it served as a clear indicator of what a player was capable of. There's a massive difference between a hard stuck Diamond 3 like myself and a Masters player, but that's why they're in a higher rank than me. When you start talking about a hidden MMR on top of the ranks, you sort of defeat the purpose of the ranks themselves. Going back to our example player, if they start in gold and increase their performance, but then the game detects that and places them into a higher MMR lobby to accommodate this, whereas that player would normally have been rewarded with an increase in ranks, now they're being essentially punished with more difficult gold games. To understand a similar situation, under the old system, if you grinded to platinum in the first week of the rank split, you would often be playing in a platinum lobby but fighting against diamond and masters players. So the rank you were playing in didn't really reflect the skill level of your lobby. If Respawn isn't careful, this new system will effectively just make that the norm but in all lobbies. Now the good thing about this change is that it addresses some of the smurfing that would occur in bronze lobbies, because if you're a high performing player that's sandbagging down in bronze, you should be matched against other players doing the same thing instead of being able to steamroll new players. Personally though, I'm concerned that this new system will lead to a lot of disgruntled players upset about ranked feeling like a slog. But the reason I still say this is one of the best changes is that we're finally getting an actual overhaul to hopefully stop ranked from feeling like a glorified pub. And more importantly, team size is finally being taken into serious consideration in matchmaking. So if you're solo queuing ranked, there should be a much lower chance that you get matched against a 3-stack or even a duo. And I don't know about you, but one of the most frustrating things in ranked was getting matched with 2 numbskulls who were attached at the hip making dumb plays in party chat, essentially leaving you to 1v3 every fight. So if they can fix that, even if it's a grind, I could see ranked once again becoming the primary way I play this game when my friends are offline. I should also point out that while the grind might be increased, the rank split is also going away, so players will have more time to establish their ranks, and the new point system makes things a bit more straightforward both in and out of the match when it comes to tracking your progress. So hopefully, a couple weeks from now, I'll be making a video saying how I was wrong about the rank changes and everything is great, but for now, I'm tempering my expectations. Second is that Fragment is finally gone. To everyone who doubted this day would come, suck it. No, but seriously, this is a bittersweet moment for most World's Edge enjoyers. In my honest opinion, Fragment was a fantastic POI that was ruined by player behavior. There was tons of loot, it was right in the middle of the map so the ring was always nearby, and the urban landscape made it so that every fight taking place was an interesting battle of attrition. The only real problem with Fragment was that everyone always landed there. So it was 5th party central, but more importantly, it ruined the flow of matches because if you landed anywhere other than Fragment, you got at most 2 fights and then saw no one for the rest of the match. The whole appeal of a battle royale is that every match can play out differently, with different loadouts and fights breaking out in various places around the map. Fragment just spit in the face of that concept, and as a result, just like Skulltown, it had to be removed. But it's not all bad. For one, the new design isn't that different from the old one. It just removed a few elements like the construction site and streamer building, so the middle of the map isn't so easy to hold, at least without a controller legend to lock down entryways. They've also removed the lava updraft areas and replaced them with lava pits that can be traversed but do damage. This is actually one of the more important changes they made, in my opinion. These pits were initially added to slow third partying within Capital City back in Season 4. And on a surface level it might sound like a good idea because it locks players into picking mobility characters if they want to easily navigate the World's Edge hotspot. But in practice it just had the effect of making the POI worse for non-mobility legends. In OG Capital City, I ran Lifeline a lot because there were a lot of underground pathways and corridors you could use to reposition. So you could take an advantageous position in fights even without movement abilities. And with fast heals, those quick rotations gave me plenty of time to heal up. But after they tore up the city, many of the rotations in Fragment became linear and predictable for grounded characters. Meanwhile, movement characters like Pathfinder, Octane, and Horizon were free to move all around and cut you off. This also had the consequence of making high ground even more powerful in Fragment. Of course, you could always mitigate these issues by playing a building, but sometimes that's not an option. In any case, it seems like the Monument is a great step in making World's Edge more than just one POI. Real quick, Editor Kentaku here, just wanted to say I think I was wrong. So far it seems like nothing has changed. Everyone is still landing at Fragment, the Monument, whatever you want to call it. The only difference now being that without the destruction, it's a little bit nicer of a space aesthetically and it's easier to make rotations. Maybe that'll change throughout the season, but at this point I kinda doubt it. Anyway, back to the video. And for those who still want the urban fights that took place in Fragment, there's still Skyhook, the most slept on POI. There's also Lava City, which is where they've now placed Construction Site. This is a welcome change because the building still plays the same, but it's no longer situated in the middle of the map as an impenetrable fortress of high ground. Oh, they also made some changes to Harvester, but I hate that spot. Moving on. The last change I want to cover in this video, and was probably the most important change for me this season, is the Weapon Mastery system. A while back, one of the devs talked about how they wanted to do something more than just add levels if they were going to create a prestige system. So I was really disappointed when they increased the player level cap with no meaningful additions other than some Apex packs. But this new system is a great step in the right direction, and here's why. No matter how much content the devs add at the beginning of the season, there's always going to come a point near the end where there's just nothing to do. You plateau in rank, you finish the battle pass and collect all the treasure packs, and even if there is an event going, there's no real reason to keep grinding the game. So most people near the end of the season take a step back. Or if you're anything like me, you create your own things to do. The past couple seasons, I've been inspired by items to try to get 1,000 kills on every legend. And while that is a fun challenge, there's nothing really in it for me other than my own personal feelings of accomplishment. But these new challenges will give players a lot to do even after they've exhausted the season updates. Some of these will change up the way you use certain weapons. For example, the R301 has a trial that requires you to knock enemies 50 meters away using only the semi-auto mode. And the Mozambique has one to get 2 hipfire knocks without releasing the trigger. Conditions like these aren't just gonna happen naturally. They'll make you not only seek out a certain weapon, but also use a specific strategy once you find it. You can choose to max out your favorite weapon and show off your dedication with new badges and skins. And it also provides meaningful reasons to check other guns out that you might not normally use. For me personally, this is a huge change that I'm happy to play around with. But it does make me wish that something like this would be created for Legends as well. When we first got word of them, I thought that's what prestige skins were going to be for. Special legend skins that could be unlocked by grinding your main legend. And honestly, I'm still hoping that something like this happens and that they reimburse heirloom shards to everyone that bought prestige skins. I think it's dumb that these skins cost $160 for something you can't see in game, but then also require you to grind to unlock the overpriced thing you just paid for. But that's a rant for another time. For now, the Weapon Mastery system is a great addition, and as an added bonus, it came with the addition of weapon stats, so you can finally see which gun you have your best performance with. Something I've wanted for a long time and have posted in almost every survey for Apex Legends. Not necessarily taking credit for this, but you're welcome. Anyway, these are just the things I'm most excited about this season, but I'm sure you have your own list, so let me know down in the comments below. Also remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.